Okay, yeah, so that we shows that our broadcast is on. Let's see. Yeah, it shows that we live. Okay, hey, Shalom, Makim, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us his truth well, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect Akim. It's out here pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazamah, and I have the brother Ayashamath as well.
Hey, Shalom, how about Shim Shai, Bashim Kakadash, Barakathon.
Khan as well. I got the young brother I know as well.
Shalom, how about Shimei Shai, Barakathon, Barakathon.
Khan, so what we want to do is we want to go into various topics in regards to World War III update. Me and the brother have been constantly sending each other's articles in regards to certain things and certain algorithms that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is making manifest on the planet Earth. You see what I'm saying? You can scoot up a little bit closer if you want. You know what I'm saying? There's certain algorithms that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is making manifest on the planet Earth. All right. And what we're going to do is through these articles, through the spirit, we're going to go into the Bible. Okay. The word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we're going to break these things down. All right. Because starting to heat, things is getting more hot. Things are getting more heavy. Okay. And with that being said, man, all hell's getting ready to break loose. You know, and we gotta broadcast these things as being spiritual newscasters or forecasters. You see? Did you want to say anything before we start, bro?
Like, I just want to segue into this to this first video, just setting up the platform as we see, in the news, you see a lot of US versus Iran, US versus Russia and China, and people haven't been talking about the Israelis, the state of Israel as much, man. But them bastards, all right, they over there prepping, all right, for war, man. And as we're watching, we're keeping our eyes, all right, on the Israelis, man. Because they're going to be the ones that set off this major fighting, all right, that's going to lead into World War III, man. Because these other altercation between these other nations, it might be a little skirmish. America might do a little airstrike, but these Israelis, all right, they're going to do something, that's going to cause heavy retaliation, from these countries, man. It's going to cause Russia and China and Iran and Turkey, all right, to come forth, man. Going to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. So we're just gonna go into this clip, going into what the Israel state is doing, and how they're preparing for war, man. You know.
Con. All right, so without further ado, I'm gonna share my screen and actually have a quick preset real fast.
Con.
Hold on, so let me figure out how to do it on this computer real quick. Hold on. All right, can you see my screen?
Con, bro.
Okay. All right, so this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 20. It says, "Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, that he saith that he taketh against Edom." Okay, and for those that don't know, all right, Edom is Esau. Okay, you self-proclaimed white people. All right, you are the wicked that the Bible speaks of, and the reasoning why Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to bring World War III on the planet Earth is to take you devils out of rulership, man, and the rest of these different heathen nations and put the Israelites on top. Okay, so we advocate World War III. We advocate destruction. You see, we advocate turmoil to be on the planet Earth because we know afterwards righteousness is going to flourish.
Con.
Okay, it says, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he had taken against Edom and his purposes that he had purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
Con.
Surely, you got it.
If you can, bro, go into that word, draw.
Con.
We're gonna get some understanding, on what's going on, man.
Mm-hmm. This word draw in the Hebrew, Strong's H5498, which is a sahab. All right, it says to drag.
And that's the main point, man. You see, the Israeli state, the least of the flock, is going to drag these countries into this major war, man. You know, because really America and Russia, they don't want to go with it, man, because they know it's going to be a lot of casualties on both sides, man. You know, they know the destructive power that they have, man. You know, so that's why you see they doing everything, you know, but going heads up, man. You know, but these Israelis, all right, are going to do something so drastic, man, that it's going to drag America into it, all right, and then dragging America into it is going to drag Russia into it, man. You know, so the least of the flock is going to draw them out, man. And when we go into this video, you're going to see, all right, what the least of the flock is preparing, man. You know.
That's right. That's right. So we go back. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Okay, because the state of Israel, as we know it, all right, because they are just the Israeli state. Okay, they're not the nation of Israel. All right, Israel is going to become a heap. Okay, how about Shem Yahushua is going to send fire upon the land of Israel as well, man. And the reason why he's going to do that is because all the wickedness and the bullshit that goes on in the land of Israel today, man. You got the wrong people, the Amalekites dwelling in that land, in our land. Okay, you got the what's the word I'm looking for? You got the gay parades that take place in Tel Aviv. You see, all kinds of madness takes place in our land, so the Lord has to cleanse that land too. Verse 21, it says, the earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. You see, now, if, you know, for brothers, if they're more visual learners, let's see. Yeah, I don't know how to do it on this computer. But if you just want to type in the Red Sea, just to see where that area is, you know what I'm saying? It's right over there by Egypt, Syria, Israel, okay, Saudi Arabia, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. You know, it may not load, so it's all good. You know what I'm saying? But it's over there in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, man. And that's where the noise is going to take, and that's where that great war is going to take place, as spoken about in Joel, the 3rd chapter. Verse 22, behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra. All right, and Basra was a chief city in Edom. Okay, Basra could be considered as America today too.
Come, bro.
It says, and at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs, because when this World War III takes place, man, it's going to be a slaughterhouse, man. You see, the United States military is going to lose dramatically in the Middle East, man. You see, because they going to have women in the military. They're going to have women in the front lines getting that issue. You see? And these are the things that are coming, man. And like I said, we advocate these things, man. We want World War III to take place so we can receive the kingdom. You see? But I'm gonna go ahead and jump to this video real quick. Let me try to refresh this page, man. Satan been trying to fuck with the laptop as of lately, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, here we go. Okay. So we're gonna play a little bit of this video and just let me know when to stop it, bro.
All right, come.
All right, here we go. Never loads up. And like I said, Salakia Akim for the slowness of the computer.
Now, it's one thing for a military budget to increase for the coming year, but for every year through the next 2 decades, such is the case with Israel's military budget. Why does Israel need or to want to increase its military budget so dramatically? Is Israel preparing for something that the world is unaware of?
Israel says it plans to increase its military spending every year through the next 2 decades. Israeli officials say they look to spend up to 6% of Israel's GDP to build up the regime's military during the period. This would be the 2nd highest military spending by GDP in the world among major economies.
this is just an astounding increase to announce that you're going to increase your defense spending so high over the next 2 decades. Israel always says everything it does is, quote, defensive, but it's virtually all.
When you read that, bro, that mug says, it says announcement spurns concerns over a budget deficit credit rating for a bill that could reach an extra $1 billion annually.
Mm-hmm.
That's some money. You got it.
So you see what these nations are doing, man. You know, they're doing exactly, what the scripture said, man. That they're spending more money into the military, man. So you see the Israelis, are drastically, increasing their military spending, man, because they know it's finna get hot over there, man. All right. They know they're gonna need weaponry and equipment, man. They know Iran is constantly getting stronger. They know Russia, Turkey, and Iran are constantly getting closer, building an alliance, man. All right. China is getting stronger, man. Projecting itself throughout the world, man. You see, and these countries over there in the Middle East are becoming more weaponized, man. You see, America and the state of Israel, for the last 50, 60 years, have been allowed to just wreak havoc over there in the Middle East, man. All right, the Israelis, they just do airstrikes at will, man. Whenever they feel like, they just go over there and blow some shit up, man. And nothing is never really done about it, man, because they know, all right, those Israelis have nukes over there. They know that America is bagging, all right, the state of Israel. But it's coming to the point where these nations gonna be like, fuck it, man. As we gonna get it in the scriptures, man. But the Israelis, they always, try to use the excuse, that they're doing this for defense, man. But no one is attacking, all right, the state of Israel, man. They're the ones always doing the attacking, man. But you go ahead and let it play, bro.
Gone and just to land back what the brother's saying, man, because they know that Iran, they really doing it in defense of Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Iran's not physically physically attacking Israel. You see, but Iran wants to blow Israel off the map.
Oh, for sure.
You see what I'm saying? So even with the defense spending, with reaching an extra $1 billion annually, having the back of the U.S. on their side. You see, that's why Israel feels obligated that it can just go around and keep bombing people and continually, so like it continually breaking UN resolutions, man. Which the UN shit. You know what I'm saying? But they can continue just breaking UN resolutions and feeling like they can just continue to do it. You see, but the Most High is the one that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is the one that's stirring this up. See?
Is actually offensive. It looks like Netanyahu is planning for more wars of aggression by Israel. There's one explanation that's a little more hopeful, that some people have suggested. Maybe it's just an election ploy. One Israeli said, "Don't you get it? It's almost Pavlovian in Israel. If you say security, voters think Bibi."
Israel has the largest military arsenal in the Middle East. Add to this Israel's nuclear arsenal that, as regional countries say, poses a serious threat to peace and stability in the Middle East and beyond. The US is credited for helping Israel boost its military might. Washington gives Tel Aviv billions of dollars in military aid.
Billions of dollars, bro. Billions of dollars America gives to Israel, man.
Every year.
Every year, billions.
Yeah.
When we have that over here.
But they're complaining about food stamps,
Yeah.
They're complaining about HUD, or Medicaid, like it's Jake, all right, in Chicago and Compton, the reason why the deficit is in the trillions, man. No, man, that's because Esau is going to invest in this sword, man. He's going to invest into his blessing that was given to him by Isaac, man. So we see, all right, cause what the scriptures say, where your treasure is, your heart will be there also, man. Unless you know that his mind is continually on war, man.
Man, I said, where's that scripture at? Continually. That's a good one. Continue war. Let's see. Right. This is Psalms 140. I'm gonna start at verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Deliver me, O Yahweh, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war.
Ooh. That's them, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's them to the T, man. You know, from the violent man. You know, he's constantly, you know, making preparations. All right, for war, man. You know, look at America history, man. You know, they've been at war 93% of the time since it was a country, man. You
Yep.
know, they're continually, all right, waging war, man. You know, that's why the so-called white man has to be taken out of power, man. All right, his whole system, all right, his finances, his military might, all that has to be destroyed, you know, by Yahweh Shai, man. You know, because they're continually wage war, man. You know, that's all they programmed to do, man. You know, destruction, man. You know,
Yep.
matter of fact, bro, get Isaiah. I mean not Isaiah, but Genesis 27 and 39. Hey, Shalom, Elder Yahabashima Shabrakata. I think the Elder watch.
Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yah Shabrakatah. Shalom. 27 to 39.
Come.
Okay, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 39. It says, And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of the heaven from above.
So this the blessing that Isaac is giving to Esau, man, which are you so-called white people of today, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
It says in verse 40, And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou should break his yoke from off thy neck.
And the point I wanted to get was by the sword, all right, shall Esau live, man. You know, because if those are the true Jews, the true Israelites, shouldn't they be relying on the Lord, on Yahweh by Shemal Shai? You know, what are they relying on, man? All right, that sword, man, because there was the blessing he received from Isaac to live by that sword, man. You know, so all Esau can do is invest in that sword, man, because that's how he's going to live, man. You know, one more precept, bro, before we get back to it. Get Psalms chapter I want to say it's 40 and 6, Psalms 40 and 6. Let me make sure.
Okay, Psalms 40 and 6.
Come.
That goes in a sacrifice and offering thou not desired. Is that what you wanted?
No, it's the one what David was saying he doesn't trust in his sword. It's 44.
Psalms 44 and 6.
Yeah. 44 and 6.
Oh, yeah. I got you. I see it. Okay, it's the book of Psalm 44, verse 6. It says, For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies and hast put them to shame that hated us.
So this, all right, is the mindset of an Israelite, man. A righteous Israelite, man. You know, not putting his faith in the sword, man, but putting his faith in Yahweh by Shemal Shai, man. As you see, all right, those Amalekites, all right, which is a tribe of Edom, all right, the least of the flock, all right, they trust in their sword, man, because they don't have no power, man. You see, only Israel has a living power, man. You know, and the so-called white man, you know, shows himself to be Esau, all right, every day, man, through his actions, man. You know,
I got a precept.
come.
This is Revelation chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
Come.
And that's Yahweh Shai, man, because when he comes back, he's going to wage war against the elites of this system, man.
Come.
Okay, that's why he's going to have many crowns on his head when he returns, man. All right, verse 3 says, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Come, you know. And when we continue in the video, you're going to see, all right, how the so-called white man, you know, is constantly, you know, increasing on his sword, man. You know, he's going to invest into his blessing, man. All right. These higher ups, these elites, they know who they are. All right. And they know, all right, their nature, man. You know, Joe Six-Pack Edomite, he don't know, you know, but these elites know, you know, and they're going to continue to invest in their sword, man. And they're going to continue to take peace off of the earth, man, until they get took out of their power seat, man. You know? But yeah,
Right.
you get back in the video, bro.
God. So like, yeah, it's a low for a quick second.
God, it's all good, bro. You know, so we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. You know,
God.
we understand, all right, what they're building up for, man. You know?
That's right.
It also gives Israel its most advanced weapons before selling them to other countries. The two sides also hold military drills each year.
It is a symbol of our commitment to the safety and security of Israel for our country. And it's an opportunity for our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines to build the relationship that's so vital to the interoperability and the integration of our capability.
U.S. officials have time and again reaffirmed their commitment to protecting the Israeli regime.
Now it's called a Security Concept 2030. U.S. military assistance stands out when breaking down Israeli military budget, $3.8 billion annually. Now, the new plan will even increase the U.S. share by $1.1 million per year. That brings Israel's annual military budget to nearly $5 billion, if you do the math. The Israeli Prime Minister tried to explain why this massive amount of military spending is necessary. He says Israel will always have security needs that are much greater than any others. But that's the second highest military spending by GDP on our planet.
On our planet, bro.
Israel often accuses other countries in the region of being destabilizing forces. The regime has waged numerous wars since its creation in the wake of World War II. All those conflicts are notorious in the living memory of Middle Eastern.
But it's like that's just the lies that Esau pushes, man. How is it that Israel, the state, the so-called state of Israel pretty much pushes that all the different nations is pushing war and terrorism when they the ones that's bombing every damn body, man.
Mm-hmm.
Flying into Syria, into their airspace and just bombing them. Going to Yemen, they constantly bombing Yemen. Or Saudi Arabia is really bombing Yemen. You know what I'm saying? But Israel's the main ones that just be going out, just doing their own thing in the Middle East, and they have no repercussion from it, man.
Gone.
Because they know that they have the United States military to back them up.
Gone, bro.
That whore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they the root, you know, to a lot of the turmoil in the Middle East, man. You know, because the Israeli state is nothing really but a military state, man. You know, for Esau to govern, all right, the Middle East with their sword, man. You know, but these other nations, all right, are finna get ready to go heads up, man. You know, they finna all this playing the victim that these Israelis like to do, man. All right, these other nations finna give them what they want, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
Right.
Bulls.
Israel always says everything it does is, quote, defensive, but it's virtually always actually offensive. It's the country that has the history of invading other countries, of initiating violence time after time.
It says the Israeli military said on Wednesday its investigation into one of the bloodiest incidents of the 2014 war in the Gaza Strip found no criminal wrongdoing. I'm talking about they just be shooting journalists that be taking they shooting journalists, shooting children. I'm talking about you get close to you on the Gaza Strip, man. You get close to the borderline, man. It could be one. There was an issue or a report that I read that it was one person that was close to the borderline, and they actually flew a jet and dropped a bomb on one individual person, bro.
God damn.
But nobody has nothing to say about that. They're the ones that's looking for terrorism and so-called protecting the Middle East from terrorism. You know, the so-called white man Esau is a liar, man, and he uses his tongue as a weapon, man. You got a precept? Go ahead.
Hey, this is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 36. It says, "A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed."
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's going into the inhabitants of Babylon, which we know America's Babylon the Great, but we're going into how America is funding Israel, okay, the least of the flock out there in the Middle East, to basically be a terror unto the nations that are round about it. You know, so if the mother of harlots is going to be destroyed, that area that's controlled by the mother of harlots is also going to be made destitute as well. You know,
that's right. Ezekiel 38 goes into that too. You know, go back here at the water for that precept. All right, we gotta wait for it to start playing here again.
Yeah. You know, and no chariots and horses. It goes actually to that.
Go ahead, brother.
The chariot and those horses in this scripture going actually to those fighter jets, you know, and those tanks. You know,
right.
So there's a sword prepared. All right, there's destruction from these other nations that's prepared, you know, for Esau's. All right, chiefly these Americans and those Israelis. You know, there's a sword prepared. All right, for the military might, man. You know, that's why the Lord has allowed these nations, you know, to have these high tech weaponry, man. You know, because Iran has already showed, you know, in 2006 with the war of Hezbollah, you know, in Israel. You know, Israel was you had the Israelis bragging on, you know, a tank, you know, that couldn't be penetrated, man. You know, but Hezbollah proved them wrong, man. You know, and it was weapons, you know, that was manufactured by Russia and China, and it was they were modified by Iran, man. And then you know, all right, that these nations had the capability, all right, to pierce, you know, through Esau's military might, man. You know.
Yep. That's what Joel the 3rd chapter goes into, and it says, let's beat our plowshares and the swords, 20 hooks and the spears, man. They're beefing up their weaponry, man. And the beautiful thing is that they're using the weaponry that Esau gave them to beat them in their own war, man.
You
know? And ultimately, it's gonna be Yahweh Shai's gonna come and just end everything.
Bro.
You know.
So clearly, this is, you know, very troubling for those of us that don't like violence and don't want increased warfare.
The wars that Israel has waged on Gaza have been fueled by Israel's use of heavy weaponry. Israel has been accused of using Gaza as a lab for experimentally new weapons. Israel's insistence on increasing its military spending and the size of its armed forces poses another danger: the threat of an arms race in the Middle East. The US insists that Tel Aviv must have military edge on other countries in the Middle East. The US pledged in 2016 to provide Israel $38 billion in military aid over 10 years.
This massive aid package to Israel, the largest in US history, is not even being reported to the American public by the American media. I don't think this is a coincidence that Israel is announcing that it will have even more money in its military budget.
That included $33 billion in foreign military financing funds and an unprecedented commitment of $5 billion to boost Israel's missile capability.
So we see, all right, the mindset of those Israelis, man, you know, but it's not going to work out, like they think, man. Because prophecy speak otherwise. Could you get Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 4?
Con. Zephaniah 2. Oops, I put it wrong. Hold on 1 second. Zephaniah 2. I'll just keep saying. Keeps changing me. I got it right here. It just kept changing by itself. I got it right here. The water though. This is Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 4. It says, For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation. They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up.
These are all lands, all right, in the state of Israel and around there, man. Because the Lord is finna forsake that place, because he finna destroy it, man. He's finna lay it flat, man. And it's gonna be built up, by heathens in the kingdom, man. All right, heathens are gonna build their place back up from scratch, man.
Right.
But that land has been so long polluted, by those so-called Jews, those Palestinians. They finna get their ass blew up out of there, that two-state agreement that they trying to come up with. The Lord has a agreement, all right, and it's going to be to clear that place completely out, man.
Great.
I got a precept.
You got a precept? Go ahead.
This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Verse 3. It says, And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places, which are, the places from the previous kingdom. They're rebuilt now. The Renaissance started with time of Renaissance where Esau built up, his influence, and now it's all the way up until now, man. Esau basically running the world now. Earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Continuing on, it says, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Esau building up his kingdom now, like the brother Ayashama said, what's going to happen is the Most High, after Esau rebuilds all these kingdoms and empires, Most High is going to throw it down again, man.
Come.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, you can get in there back in there Zephaniah and read the 5th verse for me, bro.
Come. Zephaniah 2, verse 5, it says, Woe unto the inhabitants of the seacoast, the nation of the Cherethites. The word of Yahweh is against you. O Canaan, the land of the Philistines, I will even destroy thee, that there shall be no inhabitant. Woo, man.
So the Lord is finna clear that land out, man. All right? While y'all over there arguing, having little wars over our land, the Lord is finna get ready to clear that land out, man. All right? And you had Russia, talking about putting nukes in Syria, man. So the Lord's preparing to destroy, all right, that whole Israeli state, that system that they have set up, man. Because that land has to be cleansed, man. So the Lord has a peace, all right, a deal, for you heathens in our land, man.
Great. I got a precept real quick.
Come.
Jeremiah chapter 47, it says, The word of Yahweh that came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Philistines before the Pharaoh smote Gaza. Thus saith Yahweh, Behold, waters rise up out of the north, and shall be an overflowing flood, and shall overflow the land, and all that is therein. The city and them that dwell therein, then the men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall howl. At the noise of the stomping of the hooves of his strong horses, at the rushing of his chariots, and at the rumbling of his wheels, the fathers shall not look back to their children for feebleness of hands. You see, I'm going to jump down to verse 5. Baldness has come upon Gaza. Ashkelon is cut off with the remnant of their valley. How long wilt thou cut thyself? O thou sword of Yahweh, how long will it be ere thou be quiet? Put up thyself into the scrapper, rest and be still. How can it be quiet, seeing Yahweh hath given it a charge against Ashkelon and against the seashore? there hath he appointed it. Okay, so it's going to be an appointed time within that land that land is going to be cut off, man. Okay, the land of Israel, as we know today, is going to be completely destroyed because whenever we inhabit that land, it's going to be righteousness flowing through Israel, man. But right now, we got to get the Lord. He's going to get those Edomites, those Amalekites up out of there by fire, man.
Come.
You see, that's why it's a lot of stuff going on in Gaza and Damascus, okay, and Idlib and within that region is because the captivity of Jacob is getting ready to turn, man. It's turning, I should rather say, man.
Yeah, the Lord finna do some renovation in Israel, man. You know, the land of Israel, man. You know, it's finna be renovated for its true inhabitants, man. The true nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans of the day, man, who make up the tribes, man. You know?
That's right. Let's see. There was another precept I was thinking. Let me try to find it real quick.
Come.
Right. This is Ezekiel 38 and 18. And it shall come to pass at that time when Gog shall come against the land of Israel, saith Yahweh, that my fury shall come up in my face. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great quaking, or a great shaking in the land of Israel.
Come.
So that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all the creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence. And the mountains shall be thrown down and the steep places shall fall and every wall shall fall to the ground.
Come.
You
know,
see?
and it's set up, you know, for that, man. You know, because when you look on the map and you see the state of Israel, you know, you have Lebanon, Hezbollah to the north, all right, you have Syria, all right, to the south, to the east, you know, and then you have Yemen, all right, with those Houthi rebels which are backed by Iran, you know, to the south, man. You know, so the Israeli state is surrounded by enemies, man, and a lot of people, you know, are going to be surprised when they see what weapons are already stationed in Syria, in Lebanon, in Yemen, you know, that's capable of reaching Israel, man. You know, because Hezbollah is known that Hezbollah, all right, has the long range missile systems, all right, that can touch anywhere in the state of Israel, man. You know, that's already been confirmed, man. You know, but you can best believe there's things in Syria, you know, and there are also weaponry, you know, in Yemen, you know, that's gonna touch those Israelis, man. You know, so it's set up already for Israel to be completely all right, obliterated, man. You know.
That's right. And like the brother two witnesses said on the comment board, you know, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabakatah. He put Jeremiah 49 and 23, said concerning Damascus, Hamath is confounded and Arpad. They have heard evil tidings. They are faint-hearted. There is sorrow on the sea. It cannot be quieted. Then he said, Idlib's last stronghold for terrorists, quote unquote, is right smack dab in the middle of those two cities, Hamath and Arpad. So
Hey,
just go ahead.
I was just saying you can't get around the scriptures, man. I'm talking about the prophecies in the scriptures, pinpoint accuracy, man. You know, not 10 degrees to the left, not 10 degrees to the south, man. They are dead point on accurate, man. You can't get around it, man.
That's right. So what I wanted to do now real quick is go into a little bit of this article because I read this article the other day and it's very, very intriguing. See, now this is from attimes.com and the title of it reads, it says economic war on Iran is war on Eurasia integration. All right, this is dated August the 14th. All right. So it says hysteria reigned supreme after the first round of U.S. sanctions were reinstated against Iran over the past week. War scenarios abound, and yet the key aspect of the economic war unleashed by the Trump administration has been overlooked. Iran is a major piece in a much larger chessboard. The U.S. sanctions offensive launched after Washington's unilateral pullout from the Iran nuclear deal should be interpreted as an advanced gambit in the new great game at whose center lies China's new Silk Road, arguably the most important infrastructure project of the 21st century and overall Eurasia integration. Okay, and that new Silk Road that China's building, or the Belt and Road Initiative, is what will connect the so-called Asia with Europe. Okay, in understanding and systematically understanding where Syria is and where Iran is on the map, you know that those are two key pieces that that pretty much that Russia and China need to control, or that America needs to control. To be pretty much in the game, because you got to always remember Trump and these higher up luminaries, man, they know that the economic system over here is going to fail, and this is all being moved over because a new way is being implemented, a new system is being implemented, man. And as everybody needs to be in their right positions, and they're pretty much trying to find position within the chessboard.
They fighting for position, you know, in this new power structure, which will be the new world order, man. You know, and what all right, you got to realize, you know, why China, you know, why the sanctions on Iran, you know, it don't just affect Iran, man. You know, it affects all those nations that do business with Iran, man, because Iran is very vital over there, man. You know, because they sell a lot of oil, you know, at good prices to these nations, man. And in order for China to even complete their Silk Road, you know, they gonna have to have oil, man. Cause what does oil do, man? It produces energy, man, for the industrial, all right, the industrial, you know, sector of a nation, man. You know, like if you work at Walmart, man, all right, how do those stores get stocked? All right, by trucks, man. What do those trucks run off of, man? All right, gas, man, which is produced through oil, man. You see, so you need that oil, you know, to push, all right, energy in your industrial sector, man. You know, so these nations like India, you know, they rely on Iran for oil heavy, man. You know, India and China are the two biggest buyers of Iranian oil, man. You know, but these sanctions that America is putting on Iran, man, is affecting a lot of economies, man. You know,
right. Continuing on, it says the Trump administration's maneuvers are a testament to how China's new Silk Road or Belt and Road Initiative threatened the U.S. establishment. You see, it threatens the U.S. establishment because they know that this system is not going to be operated. The way oil is moved is not going to be ran and made strong by the petrodollar no more. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be changed to a new system. And once the petrodollar loses its full value, man, all those dollars are going to come swarming back to America, man, which is going to cause what? It's going to cause hyperinflation, which means what? Goods are going to become cheap among the earth. And by goods becoming cheap among the earth, that means the dollar is not going to be, it's not going to have no value to it, man. You see, it says Eurasian integration is on display in Astana, where Russia, Iran, and Turkey are deciding the fate of Syria in coordination with Damascus. Iran's strategic depth in post-war Syria simply won't vanish. The challenge of Syrian reconstruction will be met largely by Bashar al-Assad's allies, China, Russia, and Iran. Echoing the ancient Silk Road, Syria will be configured as an important Belt and Road Initiative node, key to the Eurasian integration. Now, here's the points that I want to kind of grab. In parallel, the Russia-China strategic partnership from the intersection between the BRI, which is the Belt and Road Initiative, and the Eurasia Economic Union, okay, which is pretty much kind of like the European Union, but it's the Eurasian Economic Union, to the expansion of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the solidifying of the BRICS Plus, has immense economic takes in the stability of Iran. The complex interconnection of Iran with both Russia via the EAEU, the Eurasian Economic Union, in the International North-South Transportation Corridor, and China via the Belt and Road Initiative and oil gas supplies, like the brother Yashimov just said, is even tighter than in the case of Syria in the past 7 years of civil war. Iran is absolutely essential for Russia and China for the partnership to allow any quote-unquote surgical strike as floated in Syria, or worse, hot war initiated by Iran, by Washington. You see, so Iran is an essential piece for Russia and China to continue to build the Belt and Road Initiative, okay, the Eurasian Economic Union, the Shanghai Organization. You see what I'm saying? It's needed for its oil. It says a case could be made that with his recent overture to President Putin, President Trump is trying to negotiate some sort of freeze in the current configuration, a remixed Sykes-Picot from the 21st century. But that assumes Trump's decision making. Let me read that again. But that assumes Trump's decision making is not being dictated or co-opted by the U.S. neocon cabal that pressed for the 2003 war in Iraq. You see, so pretty much, just to make a long story short, man, America got to make some moves, man. America has to make some moves, because if Russia and China can get so-called Al-Nusra Front or ISIS, whoever the hell you want to call them, if they can get them out of Syria, which are the proxy army for the United States military, okay, they can pretty much keep a stronghold in that region. But keeping ISIS, Al-Nusra Front, the SDF, the Syrian Democratic Forces within these regions gives pretext for America to still be operating within the Middle East. That's why there's been hinting of a chemical attack getting ready to take place in Syria. So that would give pretext for America to drop airstrikes, and NATO to drop airstrikes.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it gives them a pretext to stay within that region. Okay, hopefully, I hope this is all making sense.
Hey man, comment, brother.
Go ahead, bro.
One thing that you just noted about all these organizations that the self-proclaimed white man has implanted in the Middle East, it just reminds me, to simplify it, of the reason why he perpetrated against himself 9/11. You know, he made terrorism the face of the enemy for basically an incentive or for a reason to go into the Middle East. But in reality, he has his own hidden agenda, just to kind of, that's what helped me, bring it together.
That's right. It's all a part of Esau's plans and what he wants to do in the long run. You see, and I'm gonna read this little part over here. This says the mother of all financial hurricanes. It says those clamoring for war with Iran cannot possibly understand that the nightmare scenario of a Strait of Hormuz, Persian Gulf energy transit closure, the choke point for 22 million barrels of oil a day, would represent ultimately the death of the petrodollar. You see, and if Iran closes up the Strait of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf, man, 22 million barrels of oil a day flow through that region, man. So you can imagine what, not just America, a lot of nations would be hurt if the Strait of Hormuz got closed up. You see, it says the Strait of Hormuz can be configured as the Achilles heel of the entire West/U.S. economic power. A closure would detonate the mother of all hurricanes in the quadrillion-dollar derivatives market. Unless China does not buy Iranian energy, U.S. sanctions as a geoeconomical tool are essentially meaningless. You see what I'm saying? So if China does not buy Iranian energy, all right, let's say they don't buy oil from Iran, even though U.S. said they're gonna put sanctions on anybody that buys the oil, right? If the U.S. decides to put sanctions on any of these nations, and let's say the nations did stop buying Iranian oil, Iran will close up the strait.
Mm-hmm.
So, which means that the sanctions wouldn't matter.
Come.
If we ain't gonna eat, nigga, you ain't gonna eat. And look, we ready to shoot. Just like y'all ready to shoot, you're gonna be ready to shoot right back.
Bro. Uh, could you get Isaiah 19 and 15, bro?
Con.
And then I'm gonna read a precept from the brother on two witnesses, which is Revelation 16 and 12. And it says, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. You know, so we're seeing the kings of the east, all right, become closer, man. You know, economically and militarily, man. You know, which is Russia, China, Iran, all right, India, Pakistan, all right. All those are considered, you know, kings of the east, man. You know, even North Korea, you know, all those are going to the kings of the east, man. That's going to come forth, man, in Ezekiel 38, man. You know, uh, you go ahead, bro.
Con, this is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 15. It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do.
So, just like the brothers getting into, you know, if Iran decides to choke, you know, the Strait of Hormuz, all right, there's going to be a major, all right, major change, all right, in America's economy, man.
Right.
You know, and it can be, and it's going to be overnight, man. You know, because I say the Esau system, all right, is set up, you know, where oil is the most valuable thing, you know, really, you know, in behind, you know, actual humans, you know, oil is one of the most valuable things, man, that drives the nations, man. You know, so I would say that Strait of Hormuz is gonna be very vital, you know, to the economy of America, man. And all these things that we see is leading, all right, to a worldwide economic collapse, man. You know, that's what it's gonna overall turn into is a worldwide economic collapse, man, because everyone is tied into this petrodollar, man, some way or some fashion, man. You know, and you see these nations, all right, steady, you know, creating, you know, different banking systems and trade system outside the U.S. dollar, man. You know, so it's not going to be long, man, for this place completely, all right, just collapse, man. You know,
Mm-hmm. And that worldwide economic collapse and that worldwide squeeze is going to lead to the chip.
come.
You see what I'm saying? The chip is going to be implemented on people, whereas it's going to be no option. It's going to be, nigga, you going to take this chip or you ain't going to eat. You're going to take this chip or you ain't going to have no job. You ain't going to have no car insurance. You're not going to have no license. You're not even going to have, you know, if you don't take this chip, we're going to put you to death. And that's what it's going to boil down to. That's when our faith is really going to be really tried and tested.
Come, bro.
You know, and it's coming to that point, man. You know. Did you want me to read any more in Isaiah 19?
No, that was it, bro.
Okay. I'm gonna read a little bit more of this part down here. It says, it's a lot. Hold on. Okay, here we go. It says, certainly not, of course, for the Iranian people so dear to the Beltway, as more day-to-day financial grief is already setting in, side by side with a sense of national cohesiveness in the face, once again, of an external threat. China and Russia have already pledged to continue to implement the JCPOA alongside the EU -3, which, all in a nutshell, that's the Iran nuclear deal. 5+1. All right, it says, after all, this is a UN-endorsed multilateral treaty. Beijing has already informed Washington in no uncertain terms that it will continue to do business with Iran. So the ball is now in Washington's court. It will be up to the Trump administration to decide whether to sanction China for its unwillingness to stop trading with Iran. It's not exactly a wise move to threaten China, especially with Beijing on an irresistible historical ascendancy. Nehru threatened China and lost a big chunk of Arunachal Pradesh to Chairman Mao. Brezhnev threatened China and faced the wrath of the PLA on the banks of the Ussuri River. China is able to cut the United States off in a minute from its rare earth exports, creating a U.S. national security catastrophe. Now that's when a trade war will enter real incandescent territory. See, and China has that power to do so, man.
Con.
You see, because everything is shifting from the west to the east, man. If they were to drop them treasuries, man, you would see that it would hurt China as well too. Don't get me wrong, you know, because China and America are in bed together. You know what I'm saying? So if the dollar was to drop, hey, that would hurt China bad. You know, but if China wanted to have a fresh start, so called, which they not gonna be the next rulers, you know what I'm saying? But if China wanted to have a so called fresh start, they could just dump all the U.S. treasuries, man, and that would bring a financial, like the article said, a financial catastrophe over here to the West, man, which would make people make a decision, have to choose between life or death. You see?
Con, bro.
That was it on that article. Let's see. Did you want that one last video you sent me in the chat?
Yeah, con, just to, you know, kind of keep brothers, you know, in the loop of exactly what's going down over there. You know, like the brother two witnesses had made the statement, you know, on how Italy was the last stronghold, you know, for those terrorists, you know, and when you hear terrorists, all right, all it is just a proxy for the Israelis, all right, and the Americans, man. You know, they use those terrorists to destabilize areas, you know, that way, you know, America and the Israelis, you know, can go up in there and set up shop. You know, they can go pretending like they saved the day from terrorists, all right, and then go set up shop, you know, set up their own puppet governments, you know. It's the same thing that they've been doing, man. You know, but Esau, you can tell Esau losing, man, because he running out of shots, man. You know, Esau still shooting that same old ass hook shot from the 90s, man. You
Yep.
know, propaganda, you know, about terrorists, you know, with the chemical attacks, you know, that's his new angle that he uses now, man, the chemical attacks, you know. But, you know, this video, you know, is gonna just give you a quick breakdown, you know, on what's going on in Lib, man, you know.
Con. Go ahead and play it.
Right now, surrounded by the Syrian army. With a decisive battle looming, civilians are fleeing the area through humanitarian corridors set up by the Syrian government and Russia.
And you can pause it quick, bro. So what you see, all right, is Idlib is surrounded by the Syrian army, man. You know, because they're finna make an offensive, you know, to retake Idlib, man. You know, and get those terrorists out of there, man. You know, and what you see is Syria and Russia are busting out civilians, man, because they know it's finna go down, man. You see, but this shows you that why the hell would Syria, all right, do a chemical attack on civilians, all right, when they're spending extra resources and making provisions to get civilians out of harm's way, man. You
Right.
know, it lets you see how blatant, all right, America is. You know, when it comes to lying about the Syrian government, man. You know, that doesn't make any sense for the Syrians to use chemical weapons on civilians that that they are personally transporting out of their city, man, before the war starts, man. You know, it just shows you the so-called white man just a liar, man. You know.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I had a preset. Let me see if I can find it.
Come on, bro.
Let me just type in the word real quick. Racist. Right. Okay, here it is. This is the book of Psalm 52 and 1. It says, to the chief musician, Michal, a psalm of David, when Doeg the Edomite came and told Saul and said unto him, David is gone, David is come to the house of Ahimelech.
And if I could just say, you know, Doeg was an Edomite, man. You know, because you had when King David, you know, was on the run from Saul, he had went into the temple, you know, and his men, you know, they was tired, you know, they ate the showbread, and then he was and the priest, you know, had gave David, you know, the sword that he killed Goliath with, man. You know, and Doeg had seen it, the Edomite, you know, and Saul, had confronted the priest, about David, and the priest was holding up for David. But then you had Doeg, the Edomite, he came and told Saul that the priest did see David, man, and Saul, commanded his men, to kill the priest, man. But even the Israelites under Saul were like, nah, them the priests, we're not gonna kill the Lord's priest, but Doeg killed them, man. Doeg killed the damn priest, man. So King David, is speaking exactly to you Edomites, man. So-called white people, man. Go ahead, bro.
Well, Salaki, I just want to say, with Doeg, the Edomite, I believe he's really a Syrian.
Okay, Salaki.
No, you good, because when you go to just for edification, it's a clerical error when it's like when it says here in 1 Samuel 22:9, then answered Doeg the Edomite, which was set over the servants of Saul, and said, I saw the son of Jesse come to Nob, to Ahimelech the son of Ahitub. When you go to this word Edomite, of course you're going to see Adumya, right? It says the KJV translates Strong's H130 in the following manner: Edomites 11 times, with Syria once. Which really it's a clerical error because this da is supposed to be a ra. You see what I'm saying? That's why it says Edom, Patreon form H123 C726, which shows you Aram. Yeah.
Come.
You see, he was really Syrian. You know what I mean? But it's all good. I just want it's for edification's sake.
Yes. I thought that was actually
That's all good. It's all good, brother. But let me go back real fast here. But at the end of the day, Doeg was trying to get David killed, though. You know what I'm saying? When he went up in there, he was over here trying to tell King Saul what was going down. And then according to what Doeg told King Saul, man, it got those priests killed, man. You see? It says, why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of the Most High endureth continually. It says, thy tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor working deceitfully. You see, and that's the tongue of Esau, man. You see, his tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor working deceitfully, man. So he'll put in the propaganda that, Bashar al-Assad, that monster, he's preparing a chemical attack in Idlib. He's preparing to kill children, and the white helmets is out there, and we're going to send the white helmets and this, that, and the third one. Is really America behind all that, man. The Edomites behind all that, just to push their agenda and to push what they want in the Middle East.
Come on, bro.
You see? Let me go back here. I gotta let it load up real quick. Hold on.
Come on.
You taking some time.
So I say with Idlib, it's surrounded by the Syrian army, and then also you have Russia with their naval, all right, with their navy, in the Mediterranean. America's navy is in the Mediterranean, in the Persian Gulf, So all this, this could be, a big skirmish that can break out, man. So all eyes are on Idlib right now, man. You can go ahead, bro.
That's right.
Holding us as hostages. It was cold in our camp in winter and deadly hot in summer. This humanitarian corridor is our salvation.
I am from Idlib. Conditions were dire there. The militants don't let anyone go. We escaped with just the clothes on our backs. The main illnesses here are respiratory infections, gastric distress, and arthritis. We give people medicine, recommendations, and refer them to hospital if necessary.
controlling Idlib is militant group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, formerly known as al-Nusra or as al-Qaeda in Syria. The group is viewed by Russia and America as a terrorist organization and has carried out a number of atrocities. The group's chief has warned all other factions against
a proxy army from the United States military to cause mischief and havoc in the Middle East, the pretext and presumption of American airstrikes.
Bro.
Taking part in any talks with Damascus.
Not just American airstrikes, NATO and EU airstrikes.
Our weapons are the source of our strength and honor. Thinking about surrendering to the enemy and handing over weapons will be considered treason.
The Syrian army, meanwhile, is sending reinforcements to Idlib, such as tanks, artillery, and other military equipment. Officers say their troops are ready for the final battle against militants, but as of right now, they are waiting for the order. And as tensions mount in Idlib, the Russian Center for Syrian Reconciliation says it's received intelligence on the delivery of toxic substances to the province with the help of the White Helmets to later be used in staging a false flag attack.
And that's what it is, man. They want a false flag attack so they can stay quote unquote justified in staying in the so-called Middle East region to try to implement the Greater Israel Project, man. You see? That's what they want to do. So they're going to bring the so-called white helmets out there and they're going to set the cameras up, get everything stationed, and they're going to pretense and act like there's going to be a false flag or a chemical attack when it may not even necessarily even happen. Mm-hmm. Like the last one that took place, it was all fake.
It was a hoax, a Hollywood production.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to do that. Then everybody here, these dumbed down Americans going to be, oh, well, we need to go to war. That's all messed up. It's so bad. Yeah, we should. That devil, he needs to go down. Whenever the main one, whenever people's the main, their people's the ones that's over there doing it, lying. You see, that's why, man. That's why Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. That's why he gonna just completely just destroy this place, man. It's just built upon lies, man.
A hypocritical nation.
Man, I tell you what, man. Want me to continue on this video, Ark?
Yeah, it's a little more, about 30 more seconds, and then it'll be it.
Okay.
Has previously warned that militants are preparing to stage a chemical attack. The issue has been the subject of heated debate at the UN Security Council.
Syrian armed forces have no chemical weapons and no plans to use them. There is no military necessity for it. We've said this many times before.
It is not enough for the Russians to assert that the Syrians have no chemical weapons. There are very many inaccuracies and inconsistencies.
Sensible people will not use militarily useless means to draw the fire of three powerful countries upon themselves.
We have no information about chlorine being delivered, and therefore, if the Russian ministry does have that, the most probable explanation is that it is a preemptive attempt to set the agenda and the narrative for an appalling attack to come.
To consider it as an invitation to the armed rebel groups to stage another chemical attacks as they did it in Eastern Ghouta, Duma.
It's very clear to us and our partners that this is an effort to distract from an imminent attack on Idlib.
RT's Murad Gazdiev has more on how the involvement of the international community in the Syrian war has made the potential escalation an extremely risky scenario.
It's it on it, bro. Brothers want to watch the rest of it. It's on the RT, on YouTube. They put a few good videos along with Press TV. You can pick the meat out of it. But yeah, you get 2 Corinthians 2:11, bro. And that'll be the last one I have.
Con. Yeah, that's a good one though. You know what I'm saying? Ignorant to these devices, man. Look at 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
So we're not ignorant, of the devices, of the so-called white man, with his media and his propaganda, man. We see exactly, what they're getting ready to do, man. And why they're doing it, man. Because like you just had the UN representative, you know, the Syrian, the Russian, UN representative say, why would they, do an attack, on their civilians, man, when they're protecting their civilians, man. You heard the woman, that was getting ready to get on the bus. She said these humanitarian corridors are their salvation, man. So why the hell would the people that's saving them, attack? All right, the same people they're saving with chemical weapons, man. How would that affect the terrorists, man? Why why would they attack the civilians, but they're fighting the terrorists, man? And why would America, all right, do an airstrike on the Syrian government that's fighting terrorists, man? When America is supposed to be fighting terrorists, man. The so-called white man is being found out to be a liar that he is, man, and we're not ignorant of it, man.
Right.
That was it, though, bro.
And that's right, man. Esau. Matter of fact, I got one more too. Jeremiah 49, and let's see. Right, this is Jeremiah 49:10. It says, "But I have made Esau bare; I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. He's no more, man." You see, so through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone on down to us, we are making Esau bare through the words. Okay, the Lord has given us an unction to know all things, and when He's given us a spirit to break down these things and these lies and these strongholds, man. So Esau is no longer to hide himself with his false flags. He's unable to hide himself with the 9/11 so-called terrorist attacks and things of that nature, man. You see, we already see Esau's moves getting ready to take place a step ahead of before he even does it, man. You see, and we're here to make these things known to the masses. To be spiritual forecasters. You know what I'm saying? So the brother and myself, we just wanted to go into a lesson. World War III update. With things that continue to take place and things that continue to happen. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we'll be able to break these things down and come back with some more information. You know what I'm saying, to keep the flock edified. You see, did you have anything else you want to go into, bro?
Nah, that was it, bro. Like you say, we pretty much hit the points. I say just to keep brothers updated, on the activities, and the movements, that we see, during the week. I say this thing can get hot really quick, man. There's a lot of activities, that can spark, heavy fighting over there, man. So I say, bro, just stay on watch, stay in the spirit, just be looking forward to the kingdom, man. Detaching from this place, man, because this place ain't gonna last, man. This power structure wasn't set up, to be everlasting, man. It had a purpose, man, and Esau has about served this purpose, man. All right, and teaching the world wickedness, man. So hey, we almost at the end, man.
Kind. Anything you want to say, bro?
Wow, y'all both on so beautiful.
Kind. Hey, so with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. We want to give all praises on our glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Barachah Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth well and still are pushing this truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect brothers that's teaching this word with all truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.